Hey everyone, Turquoise Tarot here. I started this spread and then somebody stopped by, so I had to stop the video. So I'm just restarting it. That's why the cards are already on the table. This spread is going to be about finding that inner confidence, working on whatever self-doubt or limited thoughts or beliefs that you may have, and how you can go about changing your perspective in order to gain that self-confidence in yourself, to achieve your goals and to obtain what it is that you're desiring for your life. So before I get started, I just want to say thank you again to everyone who has liked, shared, and subscribed. I truly appreciate it. To everyone who has made a donation, and to all of you who have requested a private reading, thank you so much. Thank you for your confidence in me, and thank you for allowing me to provide you with a private reading. If any of you are interested in making a donation or interested in a private reading, I'm going to post that information in the information box below the video, okay? So again, thank you so much. I love you all and I appreciate you. For those of you who are just checking this video out and maybe haven't seen my other videos, I hope that you enjoy this. I hope that you'll subscribe. Thank you and welcome. So this spread is really talking about needing some drastic changes as far as your self-talk and your thoughts about yourself and your beliefs about yourself. We have we have the Fool, the Moon, the Tower, the King of Swords, excuse me, King of Swords, the Magician, the Seven of Pentacles, the Devil card, the Ace of Swords, and the King of Wands. And the overall energy at the bottom of the deck, we have Justice. And I've noticed this Justice card's been coming out a lot in several of my readings, so that's very interesting. But with the Fool, the Moon, and the Tower here, it's telling me that there's some drastic changes in the way you talk to yourself. Reality is subjective, because we all have different life experience. We all have been raised in different environments, different cultures. We've all experienced different things, and because of that, everyone's perception of reality is unique to them, and so therefore it is subjective. And in order to have that self-confidence and that self-awareness, you really need to maybe change some talk or some beliefs that you've carried over from childhood or as a young adult. And it says here you need to deal with whatever self-illusionment and fear that hinders you or prevents you from finding that inner drive and that confidence in yourself and your skills and your talents and your gifts. The Fool, you know, he's number 0 in the tarot, and the Fool embarks on a journey because he's lived in a town or a village, a small corner of the world for quite some time, or not quite some time, but since, you know, all his life. He's young. So I don't want to say quite some time, but he's a young man. I can't talk today. What's wrong with me? My goodness. So he's a young man, and he's decided, you know, I want to go out and experience the world. I want to see what's out there. I'm so used to what's around me, and I'm bored with my environment, and I want something new. I want to go see what else there is to life. And so he goes out and embarks on this journey expecting to learn about the world and learn about what's out there. And by the time he gets to the end of his journey, what he realizes is he didn't really learn about the world, he learned about himself. So he thought he was going to go out there and maybe even teach the world something, but he ended up, the world taught him something. So at that point he becomes the hermit. And we know that the Hermit is all about that self-reflection. So this is a time when you need to have drastic change in your perceptions, in the way you talk to yourself. You need to rid yourself of that self-illusionment and fear, limited thoughts and beliefs that you carry, because maybe your whole life you've been told one thing, or maybe your whole life it's been difficult or challenging for you to get ahead in some area of life. But the Fool is saying you need to have that self-awareness that, you know, you haven't experienced it all. You haven't seen it all. So you can't limit your thoughts or your beliefs or your perceptions and believe them to be true simply because that's all you've experienced. There's more out there. There's more for you to learn. There's more for you to gain. And so, as an example, let's say that you've struggled with relationships your whole life, or you've always had challenging partners, or you haven't had a relationship in quite some time. So you may have the perception that, you know, the opposite sex isn't interested in you, or the opposite sex, you know, they're all jerks, or they're all bad people. This is just how they are, you know, all men are scumbags, or all women are cheaters and liars. But it's saying here that you haven't experienced all women or all men. So you need to know that there's more out there. And also with the Fool, it can be saying in order to gain that new knowledge and really expand your horizons, you need to get out there. Maybe go experience things and go to places that you haven't been before. Meet and socialize and interact with people that you haven't before. You know, if you're dealing with certain people in your inner circle, and those are the only people that you socialize with or commune with, well, that's all you're gonna know, right? So go out there and meet new people. Go experience life in a new way. Go join some type of volunteer club or whatever, you know, to get out there and just experience the world differently. Do something you haven't done before. The Magician in the center here is really talking about you having whatever it takes to manifest what it is you desire for your life and bring about what changes you want in your life. The Magician has all the tools at his disposal. So he's saying here to you, recognize that you're a unique individual with a certain set of gifts and talents and abilities. Your personality is unique to you, and it's a blessing. You know, all the hardships and all the good things that we've had in our life molded us to be who we are. And it doesn't have to be a negative, you know. You have to look at it as, I wouldn't be who I am if I didn't go through what I've been through. And I'm wiser, and I'm more intelligent, and I'm more capable because now I know what I'm made of. I know that I can make it through this kind of challenge. So you have everything at your disposal to be the person that you're desiring to be. And in reality, you've already been blessed with these since birth. So if you're looking outside of yourself like the Fool to try to find what's going to make you happy or what's going to bring you success, you need to look within because you already have it. You've had it since birth. And again, that's what the Fool realizes at the end of his journey. The King of Swords above the Magician is telling me, you know, basically you need to be more objective. Stop letting your fears or stop letting your emotions control your perceptions. Be more objective. You need to understand that you're not the only one that has been through this kind of challenge or hardship. You're not the only one struggling with whatever self-doubt or limited confidence in whatever aspect of life that you're dealing with it in. You're not the only one who's been through this. So you need to see the world, you need to see life and the world in a much bigger perspective, right? From a higher perspective. If other people have made it through, you can too. If other people have faced the challenges that you have faced and been able to be successful in overcoming because they believed in themselves, they push themselves, you can too. The Seven of Pentacles below the Magician is talking about looking at how thus far you have dealt with problems or you have dealt with life, and you really need to ask yourself, is this how I want to continue? Is it getting me anywhere? Because you know, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing repeatedly, expecting a different outcome. So if you're sitting around wishing and hoping and waiting, but you're not doing anything to really create what you want, well, you're going to be where you're at. You're still going to be living in this self-doubt and fear, and you're never going to be able to really see what you're made of and make and manifest the life that you want for yourself. The Devil card is all about, it just kind of reiterates this whole message of, you know, let go of whatever toxic beliefs or thoughts or situations that have held you back. Because it's an illusion. The Moon card tells you it's an illusion. You're eluding yourself. And the Devil card here, you know, these people on the Devil card, they're loosely bound. So they don't have to stay there. They don't have to stay in that negativity. They can release themselves at any time. And it's saying here that you have the power to do that. You're the Magician. The Ace of Swords beneath the Devil card confirms that you will be successful in overcoming whatever limited thoughts or beliefs that you have about yourself. If you have faith in yourself, if you have confidence in yourself, know that you can be victorious. It's a hard-earned victory. As you know, with all of us, yes, it's hard to change our thought patterns. It's hard to change our beliefs. You know, especially when you've been told something your whole life, or maybe you've struggled with being teased, or you know, you face some very challenging situations. It's hard to overcome that. And no one's saying that you have to completely forget about it. But there's a difference between forgetting and overcoming and leaving it in the past. You know, one thing that comes to mind is so often if we really stop and listen to what we're telling ourselves, our thoughts are usually focused on the past or the future, but they're rarely in the present. And all we have is the present. So whatever happened in the past, we can't change it. It's done. Whatever's going to happen in the future, we don't know. We don't know what tomorrow brings. It could bring something absolutely beautiful, or it can bring something that's challenging. That's life. But all we have is this moment. So it's embrace the moment. Live in the moment. Be in the moment. The King of Wands, this is a very confident king. He's someone that when he wants something, he goes after it. He doesn't question, he doesn't doubt. He just goes for it because he knows that he's capable. And if he's not capable, if he doesn't have the resources, if he doesn't have the knowledge, he will find people who are capable and have the knowledge so that he can make for himself what it is he wants. He is the most self-confident king in the tarot. And sometimes, you know, he can be seen as even arrogant or narcissistic. And I'm not saying you have to take it to that extreme, but it's just saying here, when you really stop and look and listen, and you focus on how am I going to use my talents and skills to bring about success, to bring about what makes me happy, to bring about creating a life that I'm passionate about, you will have that inner confidence. You will have that inner drive. Don't focus on the past with this Seven of Pentacles here I'm looking at. It's, you know, don't focus on past mistakes or past faults or you know, situations that were difficult or challenging or that didn't serve you. Let them go, because you have an opportunity here to really create the life you desire. And it's all in how you talk to yourself. It's all in how you believe. It's all in, you know, the day-to-day, your perceptions and how you speak to yourself. The Justice card is the overall energy is just saying you need to find that balance. And the King of Swords is saying that too. Objectivity. Objectivity. Don't allow your emotions or negative thoughts to overwhelm you to the point where you're kind of just sitting back saying, I wish, woulda, coulda, shoulda. Go out there and make it for yourself. The Magician makes it happen. The King of Wands, he makes it happen. And the Ace of Swords is saying you will have victory in overcoming this if you just apply yourself. So let's take some clarifying cards. And you know, sometimes it's hard with these clarifying cards because it is a general reading, right? So some of us, you know, our thoughts and beliefs about ourselves differ. But, oops. The Tower is really talking about radical change that needs to happen within your thought patterns and your beliefs. Because under the Moon, it's saying you have a lot of self-illusionment and doubt and fear. And whatever your subconscious beliefs are, they're not serving you. And there needs to be radical change about that so you can have this fresh start and really go on the path to your destiny. I want to look at the Ace of Swords. So the Ace of Swords is saying, you know, study, analyze. It might be a good idea if you're facing some insecurities about a certain aspect of yourself, or you feel like you don't have enough knowledge or skill or wisdom to go about manifesting what it is you want. Try to find a mentor, or go seek out someone that has been through something similar and they have overcome these challenges, and see how, you know, they've perceived their situation. How have they overcome? This can also say for some of you, if you're wanting to gain a higher position, you may need to go back to school and apply yourself in that aspect. The Soldier, it's kind of self-explanatory. It's about soldiering on, moving forward, being an active participant in creating the life you want. And overcome sorrow. Stop looking in the past. Stop analyzing the future in a negative way. You need to allow yourself to be happy. And you can only bring in happiness if you're willing to let go of all the negative self-talk and fear and no, I can't, and you know, all that negativity. You can be victorious in overcoming your sorrows if you just apply yourself. And I know, everyone, I know that's more easier said than done. We all deal with insecurities. We all deal with fear in some aspect or another. We all have negative self-talk. But it's when you really try to pay attention to that and work on it day in and day out to change it, when we see true change happen. Remember, reality is all subjective, so you can alter your reality within, you know, a moment just by changing your perception. Let's look at the Justice card. Okay, so the Justice card is saying, with this Falseness card, you've been self-deceptive. You haven't been completely honest with yourself because you're not being objective like the King of Swords. You know, you're allowing your fears and negative thoughts and self-talk to manifest the life that you've created. So work on overcoming this self-delusionment. Joyfulness and happiness can be yours. And it's like you're wanting this, you're dreaming about it, and you're just kind of sitting around waiting for it. Like you're just dreaming about it. In the meantime, you're telling yourself all these negative things. So if you want to bring about this joy and this happiness in your life, you need to create that balance in yourself and be more objective. In your thought patterns and in how you rationalize things. Let's look at the Seven of Pentacles. Oops, excuse me. Seven of Pentacles. So, oops, excuse me, I'm dropping cards. With this reunion card, I'm feeling strongly that you're very tied to your experience or your life lessons that you've already dealt with. And it's difficult for you to see things from a different perspective because this is all you know. Again, the Fool is saying go out and seek new experiences so that you can gain that objectivity. This messenger is saying, these are the messages you're telling yourself. You're telling yourself the same story over and over and over again, and it's not helping you. It's not helping you grow. And you're married to this, you're tied to this. You feel this sense of obligation to believe this way or to feel this way because you have been this way for quite some time. But the King of Wands didn't become the King of Wands by allowing any defeats or negativity to affect him. He's just looked at it as a challenge that has been overcome, and he's been positive in the sense that instead of looking at it as that happened to me, he's looking at it as I've overcome that. You know what I'm saying? Finally, I want to look at the Devil card. So on the Devil card, again, you've been consistent in your thought patterns, in how you perceive things. But now it's time to be of service to yourself. Be your own best friend. If a friend of yours came to you and said all the negative thoughts and opinions that they have about themselves, you would probably turn to that person and say, you're crazy. You're not that bad. Why do you feel that way? So you need to do the same for yourself. You need to be your own best friend and realize that, you know, some of the negativity that we're our own worst critic. So you need to stop being a critic of to yourself and start being a friend. And start applying it. Start telling yourself this on a regular basis. If you have to write it down, write down mantras or affirmations and begin doing that on a daily basis so that you can start really convincing yourself and believing that of yourself. Because you've been telling yourself the wrong story for so long. It's, you know, again, drastic change needs to happen to change how you're perceiving things, and that's going to take a day-to-day practice. So that's what I have for you guys. You know, we all deal with insecurities in some aspect or another, so I hope that this helps you guys. Have faith in yourself, be your own best friend, and know that, you know, again, with the Ace of Swords, victory is yours here. It's up for the grabs. It's up for the taking. But you got to just work for it. Manifest it. Okay? I love you guys. Wish you all the best. And I'll be back soon with another reading. Thanks. Bye.